these two guys going around offering free masks to people. And all the people were like, no, they're muscles, man. They're muscles. In Florida, it was. Like, a conspiracy and stuff like that. It's like, oh my God. So sad.
Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, glad you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
Staying
yeah.
healthy.
Yeah, all good, man. What about your house? You got a new crib?
Yes. Man, we moved probably 2 or 3 weeks before we had the baby.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer than that. But that was just wild, just getting everything moved. And I couldn't imagine having to do that whole process after bringing a newborn home. That would have been wild. Yeah, we got a new property here. We're very blessed.
3 most stressful things are having a baby, moving house, changing jobs. So all you got to do is change the job. You got the hat there.
I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. But yeah, man, it's awesome. The gym's coming together good, and I'll give you a little.
Looks sick. Looks so sick, man.
See if I can flip you around here. Nope, that took a picture. Can you flip around on this thing?
What are you on?
I'm on Sky. Oh, there we go. You just double tap. So, moved everything over here. Got the dumbbells here. I just had the lighting put up. I originally tried to do it myself, and it looked really, really crappy. So I had a friend of mine who's a professional come in and do it. And yeah, it's all coming together.
It looks so good. It looks so
good.
What's your outside space like? So if you were to take the gym outside, what's the space like just outside?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you that too.
Have a look, man. It's what people want to see.
Yeah. So we've got a full driveway here.
That's sick, man. Did you put that basketball hoop up, or was it already there?
Nope, that was already here. So we bought this place from my in-laws. So my wife's parents. So we're familiar with the property, and we absolutely love it. So we're fortunate enough that we were able to snag it up.
Mate,
the housing market here in the U.S. Is unbelievable. I don't know how it is there, but it's like if something good comes on the market, it goes super fast.
Okay.
And so we obviously had insight on this one before it went on the market. So it's unbelievable. You wouldn't think during a pandemic that the housing market would be high, but it is.
Yeah. You wouldn't think we'd be moving. Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah. And it's probably because interest rates are so low here in the States. So people are snagging up those low rate loans.
Do they go away after a certain amount of time? Do they bounce up kind of thing with interest rates, or is it just fixed?
For like home mortgages, you can either get fixed or variable depending. But yeah, usually you get fixed.
Yeah.
And it locks it in for your whole term of your loan. But yeah, man.
That's cool, man.
It's been awesome. Yeah, we got a pond out back. We don't own the pond, but we're able to use it, and it's just a beautiful view. A lot better than living in town and down in the basement gym.
Yeah. So what is the difference between where you're living now? Like, whereabouts in the country are you living now compared to before?
Just outside, like, the city limits within our small town.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 5-10 minutes from our other house.
Okay.
But we're still close enough to, like, town, the nearest Walmart, home improvement store, things like that. 5 minutes down the road. But so we're not, like, we got neighbors on either side of us, but we're not, like, way out in the country, out in the boondocks.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's a lot more spacious and quiet out here.
Yeah, it seems like, mate, that's my ideal kind of property where you got like the land around you and it's like more chill.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially because you don't need to be going to the gym. Like, you got your own gym. I see an article put up regarding people going back to the gym and said apparently the percentage of people going back to the gym is going to drop by about 70%. People, they've
7%
at home, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do this now. We're going to stay at home.
Yeah, I bet. I know a lot of people invested in equipment during this time, and you obviously know that some of that ridiculous prices on the equipment. I think people were thinking, well, I paid that much money for some stuff. I better use it at home. And so I think it will be a drop off, and it'll be a slow progression back into it. Because some people are kind of jumping on the train of just training at home. And I think that's where coaches come in huge. Because if you got a set of dumbbells, it can get kind of boring doing the same stuff over and over. And but yeah, I'd be curious, man. It's been a while since I've been in like an actual commercial gym, so I don't really know what the vibe is, at least here. I know our commercial gyms are back open, but I've been so disconnected from that. I don't really know kind of what that experience is like right now. But how's it over there?
Yeah, I think we're just about opening back up, and I think from what I've seen on social media and online and stuff, it does look very like almost like prison in a way. They're like everyone's got their own little booths. Apparently, you've got to like book in time slots to go to the gym. I don't think it's going to be convenient as it was before. So
yeah,
it's the amount of money that people are paying for it. It's just I think it's going to die a death, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put these in. I'm in the gym, so it's a little windy outside. Does that sound okay on your end?
Yeah, it's fine on mine. I can't hear any wind.
All right, good.
Cool. So how much time have you got to talk?
I was hoping it wouldn't.
What's that?
I said I was hoping it wouldn't
be
like blown.
I was just saying, how much time have you got to talk?
I've got about an hour.
Okay, cool. So
and then I've got a deadly training session up here. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. So that's coming after.
Nice, nice. Are you going to do it caffeinated or?
I don't think so. I had my caffeine this morning, and then I was on baby duty. The wife was gone, so yeah. I think I'm gonna go just with good old H2O.
Good man. Good work. Cool. So I thought like the main kind of area we'll look to address is individual design and remote coaching, because that's something that you are kind of quite trained in, and you've had experience in it. Just so that, like you said about people doing remote coaching and stuff like that, they might want to get a bit of an insight into how it works from a client perspective and from a coach's perspective. Especially because if you scroll through social media, the way that a lot of ads are designed, it's got somewhat like that clickbait where it's like remote coaching will take your PT business online. I saw that rubbish, but then it's all signing up to stuff without real kind of information given straight away. So I don't know where you kind of start, but what if someone was looking either to invest in coach, or a coach was looking to get clients, where would you kind of start?
Yeah. Well, thanks for saying that, because just as a disclaimer, I don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm definitely in training in this style of coaching. I would never say that I'm at the top or one of the better. I'm still just learning so much, and so I appreciate you saying that. But I think the reason that it's just so attractive to me is that I think there's a huge barrier and huge gap in just people's general fitness and health, and so that they keep trying the next trend, the thing that's on the rise. You know, some type of program that's templated, that's thrown out to the masses, and it may work for a temporary amount of time, but then they kind of get stuck in a rut, or like life happens and different things that they don't really know how to navigate, or they've never navigated while trying to take care of their health. And that's where individual design, I think, comes into play, is because it's just that, it's all individualized. And so what that means is that it all starts with like an assessment. And so I think that's a huge part of individual design, is the assessment part. That's what sets it apart from, a CrossFit gym class where you go in and it's a templated group class, and it works if that's kind of up your alley. And it's, I wouldn't say, some people say individual design's for everybody. And I kind of first originally thought that like, okay, if you really want to do fitness right and do it for the long term, then you have to do individual design. I don't necessarily think that's true anymore, because some people thrive on doing the program that they've done for years, and they love that. They love the group environment. But I would say there's a higher percentage of people that absolutely hate that environment, have never felt like they belong in that environment. They feel lost. They don't know what they're doing. So I would say that there's that market, and that's kind of why I believe in that market. And I truly think that it works long term for the average person. Somebody that doesn't really, they haven't really experienced fitness, or they've had a bad experience with fitness. Individual design can give them that confidence, because there's somebody in their corner coaching them through different aspects of health, different aspects of lifestyle, nutrition, how to navigate all of that together so that they can be the best that they have been called to be. Group setting classes, your coach has your interest in mind, but it's impossible for him to have it 100% in mind and take the best possible care of you and guide you in the direction because they have 25 people in the class. Or even, a personal trainer at a Globo gym that you solely rely on that person because you come and meet them at that certain time. You're kind of like babysitting an adult, right? So they don't feel like they can exercise unless their trainers there with them. Whereas remote coaching and individual design can kind of be that catalyst to help you explore fitness on your own with the guidance and help and care of the professional of the coach, but allowing you kind of to see your own potential, take ownership of it. That's what helps with lasting change. So I know that didn't really answer your question, but
no,
it sets up a little bit about kind of what individual design, and that's kind of what we're going to dive into here, of what people should be looking for if this is something, or kind of maybe we can help identify the group of people that this would be beneficial for, because it isn't beneficial for everybody.
And I like as well how you touched upon the PT ideology of PTs and coaches, because whilst you were saying that, I was going to say, can you maybe try how a coach is different to a PT, because they're often grouped into the same.
There we go. Sorry.
So that's good that you touched on that. So for you personally, as a coach, what's your favorite part about individual design?
And my favorite part is truly seeing, just like what I talked about, truly seeing somebody take ownership of their own fitness and their own health. And they start to develop kind of an attitude towards like, hey, I'm understanding this. I understand why you're programming what we're programming, where we're headed, the direction that we're headed in. And they start to build that confidence and self-awareness of, hey, this is where I'm currently at, and this is where I want to be. And these are the steps I can take, but it's totally up to me to take those steps. I think there's a lot of pressure on coaches to have like the results for the client. And if they're not meeting them, it's like they look at the coach. It's like, what are you doing? Are you doing something wrong? And we make mistakes as coaches as well. But I think a lot of it is taking ownership as the client. And so when I see that in a client, man, you see that just a whole new world open up, and they make comments about how like, man, I feel totally different now that I've, sat down and chewed my food a little bit more. Or they start building these habits and they keep adding these things to their toolbox. That to me is honestly just the greatest joy to see that. And I know if you're familiar with OPEX, that's kind of where I've adopted a lot of this from. They're like the top coaching pro. Yeah, they're coaching me just with unbelievable content, and there's always new stuff and great stuff, and at times feels overwhelming because there's just so much that you could be doing to better yourself as a coach. But they always say that the best thing that we can do as coaches is to get people to the point where they don't no longer need us anymore. And it's like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense to a personal trainer at a Globo gym. That makes no sense, because that's their livelihood. That's their but I'm in the business of helping you change your life so that you can be the best that you've been called to be. And that's up to you to kind of take that as far as you want it to go. That frees me up to not have that pressure on me, but also to help empower others to make the changes on their end, so that it actually impacts their life.
And do you find with this, you're sharing your passion, you're opening up opportunities to cement this knowledge? So if you learn something from OPEX, for example, and you don't put it into your practice, and you don't get any feedback from it, then it's almost like lost knowledge, because then you go to read that same information 2 months later, or you're like, it's almost like new information again. But when you're, like you said earlier about sometimes the results don't come through and they don't show, that's the choose, do, review process, isn't it? You choose something to do it, you review it. Is it working? No, change it up. Let's do something else. Let's review it. That's what coaching is, isn't it? Like, it wouldn't be coaching if you just threw something against the wall, hope it sticks, and then just completely went and done another thing. And then that goes right back to when you were talking about the progression of a plan. If someone's doing something they've seen on Facebook, or they're doing constantly doing testers, no progression in that. So there's no real training. So what I'm basically trying to say here is that with your coaching, individualized coaching, it's helping you in your education as well, because you're seeing the results that work with a different population. Everyone's an individual, but you're also it's allowing you to explore concepts in further detail and stuff like that.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, man. It is. Yeah. It's about that reevaluation, reassessing, just like a physician would do if you went to the doctor, right? They're not just going to. People have their arguments about Western medicine and whether or not it's templated or not. Some of it is, some of it's not. But in a sense, it's like we're practicing different concepts. We've got a lot of tools in our box. They may not all work for you as an individual, but we're going to at least try them. And if they don't, we get the feedback. And we get that feedback through the assessment and constantly checking in. How are things going? Is your program, is it aligning with your lifestyle? Or are you cutting every workout short because they're an hour and now you only have a half hour? We can adjust that, right? Yeah. And if we don't, you may feel like a failure because, man, I can't get through my whole workout because my time's got shorter. That's a difference between like a templated program or a templated class. You missed a class because something came up at work. Individual design, we can navigate through that. Or, if you do have those goals that you want to meet and you're not meeting them, we can set a realistic expectation of like, this is what it's going to take to get to that point. Yeah. And if you're not willing to make sacrifices somewhere else, there's no wrong in that. Yeah. It's just like, let's not have that as our expectation or our goal, because there's a good chance with the lifestyle you're living, it's not going to get there. Nothing wrong with it, but let's just set a realistic expectation so that you can feel fueled and empowered that you're making a change in your life. Yeah. Because not everybody's called to have 4% body fat and shredded all year round. Yeah. That's pretty hard to sustain that. Definitely. And so that's where the individualized program can come in. And for example, and it's not even about bodybuilding. I love bodybuilding. I think there's great power and tools with it to build lean mass. It makes us healthier. We live longer. We can do way cooler and more fun stuff as we age because of it. But just like somebody asked a question the other day, where should I start with fitness? Okay. It's like, well, if you've never done any type of fitness, let's simply start with walking. Right. So if we're not walking regularly or even going on walks, if we can't prove that we can sustain that, and, weightlifting intimidates you, going to the gym intimidates you, great. There's things that we can do outside of that. And maybe your program looks like walking for 60 minutes every single day, unplugged, continuous, to keep that heart rate sustained. Some people are like, that's a waste of my time. Well, okay. Depends on what your goals are. What do we want to do? Yeah.
But that is the beauty of individual design there, because that can change on a daily basis. That can change on a weekly or a monthly basis. Or it's a template program, it's already put in. So if you meet those milestones early on in your program and you're surpassing week 2, you've got to sit through another 4 or 5 weeks until you get your next part of your plan. So it's effectively wasted time where you could see progression.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I'd love just for a lot of people to understand, is that they see the marketing on social media and I have to market myself and my brand and my coaching practice. But what I do on a daily basis isn't necessarily what's going to be best for you to do. And I think some people just get intimidated by that. And it's just a hard thing to do with online social media marketing, because they're like, there's a select few that are like, okay, I want to look like that and I want to be able to move like that. So I'm going to do that, or I'm going to at least look into what this guy offers. Yeah. But then there's a group of people that are like, I'd just like to shed 10 pounds and I'd like to, bike and row and run every day. Great. Yeah. So I think for the general population to be able to know that like, that's what individual design is. It's me helping you kind of navigate your health and fitness however you see that fit and wherever you want that to go. Yeah. And so it's not me taking the practices that I'm implementing in my own life, because those are my goals and they work for me. I'm not just going to throw that on you, but so that's one of the things I really hope, like, just to drive home that's what individual design is, man. It's just helping navigate your own health and fitness.
That's quality, because that is literally what I was thinking. I'd say it goes into 2 broad spectrums. You've got, maybe 3 actually. You've got the aesthetic side of it, where people just want to look where a certain person looks. They want to their goal is, I want to have a six pack, I want lean arms, I want whatever. You've got the people that have got performance goals. They want to run the marathon, or they want to, I don't know, do a triathlon or something like that. But then you've also got lifestyle goals, what you were talking about earlier. Like, some people don't know what it feels like to live optimally. Like, it's weird because it's something that's just ingrained in us two, because we live it. We know what waking up refreshed feels like. We know what being full feels like. We know what being hydrated feels like. We know what being fatigued feels like. Some people, that's their normal. Like, they get 4 hours, 5 hours sleep a night, and they go through weeks and months, and they think that's how you should feel. So it's crazy, the spectrum that you've got. It's not just about, oh, I'm going to get someone to bench press 100 kg. I'm going to get someone to see their abs. Like, it's so much more sophisticated than that. And if you had to put it into levels, it could literally be level 1, level 200, where it's so vast, the scope of it. So it's cool having this conversation, because it kind of like wakes people up to realise it's like lifestyle coaching. It's not just this guy's going to help me bench press. He's going to put a plan together, bench press, deadlift, squat. It's going to be so much more than that. And you're on the other end of the phone, so if there's something they've seen online on YouTube, maybe don't do that, or maybe that's a good idea to put into morning routine, stuff like that.
So and I think too, having people understand that, like, the clients that I work with and that I will continue to work with are those that I think they come into the consultation, initial one, just kind of like trying to test the waters a little bit, trying to figure out, okay, what's all this entail, minus just how much does it cost, like how's this going to benefit my life. That's a hard message to get across. But I think when they realize, once they come in and they're meeting with me, and we're kind of going through and developing a plan, it's not me just developing their plan. Like, the more the client can have input into their own plan, man, they feel empowered. It's like, I have the some tools and skills that can help you. But by you helping individualize it, by giving your input on what's working, what's not working, what are some wins, what are some losses, that helps them realize, like, hey, I'm a part of this. And they know that right from the beginning that they're a part of all the changes they're going to have to make in order to get to where they want to go. It's not just like, hey, there's this magic coach that can just give me this stuff. And I've experienced that in my own training too. It's like, man, this workout that I'm doing is like not really working for what I want. And that's okay. And we kind of go up and down with that. But just for them to have that experience, mentally it connects with what they're going to do.
That's it. It's holistic. It's psychological, physiological. That's the point. Like you're saying, you go to the gym, you don't complete the workout, your motivation is at an all-time low. Are you going to go back next time? What state of mind are you going to be in next time you perform that workout and things like that, or that exercise, or what emotions are you going to link to going to the gym? Like it's a lot deeper than the physical body, and it can have an impact not only on living, but your day-to-day relationships, your work life, and all things like that. So there's a lot deeper than people think. Yeah,
for sure.
What I was going to say is, can you take me through the initial assessment, and then we talk about training versus testing? So would there be elements in your individual design where you want to see how they're kind of getting on?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to kind of take you through the process a little bit, like if you were to come to Victory Strength and people that are watching, and usually just about the cool thing about OPEX, and I'm not like licensed by them. I don't have their certification. They put out a ton of free stuff that I've just taken and then kind of taken my own knowledge just from it and kind of developed my own system with it. But the cool thing is with individual design and the growth of that, those systems are going to look very similar across the board throughout the country, because it all centers around the assessment.
it's such an important factor that you're not going to get at any other gym. The assessment is so important because it gives us a baseline, kind of where we're starting at. So if somebody comes and says, hey, I want to lose some body fat. Great. Let's start by getting you on a body composition assessment on a scale to kind of give us some numbers of seeing like, what is your current body composition? And based off the numbers, why do you want to change it? Is it healthy to change it? Are you healthy or are you not healthy right now? So that assessment is key. It also gives us the ability to kind of see how well they can move, how well they can work as an individual with their energy systems. And so that assessment part is key. And that starts within the consultation. So right from the very beginning, we sit down just like this remotely. And eventually here at Victory Strength, we'll eventually have an on-site location where people can come here to the gym.
Yeah.
Hold on, sorry, bro. I don't know what I just did here. There we go. And there's so many different, like now you're at the bottom of my screen. You were just at the top. Whoa, that's weird. Sorry, you're a little circle now. Just a second. You have to edit this part out, bro.
That's all right, yeah.
What in the heck? Oh, took another picture. What is going on? I don't like being at the top.
Is it garden?
Yeah, it's just a neighbor's house there. All right, we're just going to roll with it.
What are your neighbors like?
So right next door is my wife's grandma and grandpa, which is cool. Nice. And then about the same age couple on the other side of us. Awesome people, man. It's fun to live out here. Yeah, good community.
Good. That's decent.
But yeah, what I was saying too is that that assessment starts within the consultation. Yeah. So it's a roughly 60-minute conversation of us sitting down and kind of talking. Number one, why does the client want a coach? Like that's one of the most simple things that we can ask from the very beginning. It's really easy to just hop on here and start dumping information on people. Hey, this is what we're going to do. And it's like, let's start with just why. Why do you want to be here? Why are you contacting me? You saw my service somewhere and you're interested in it and you want to know more about it. Why do you think you'd benefit from a coach? What changes do you want to make that you think you need help from a coach? Yeah. When you ask people that, sometimes it kind of throws them off a little bit, but it's like once we can keep finding and digging deeper into their why, that is really what's going to help set the tone for kind of the coaching relationship. And it helps me know, like, why do you want my help? Yeah. If I just start kind of throwing information at you that I've learned or that I think would benefit everybody, then you're going to be like, okay, this feels kind of templated. So it always starts with the why. And then you can always dig deeper off of that. Okay. It's like, I want to be healthy. Okay. Why do you want to be healthy? Well, I have kids at home. Okay. Why do you want to be healthy for your kids? Well, I want to set a good example for my kids. Okay. Why do you want to do that? Like you can continue to ask why, because you want your kids to be healthy. You want them to raise good families. You want them to, or you want your body composition to change. Well, why do you want to do that? Yeah. Once you find that why, that's what is going to help with the motivation, because somebody once said, when motivation dies, let your consistency and your habits carry you through. And so it's not about being motivated on Instagram or I hate those Instagram motivation pages. It's just a bunch of crap, in my opinion. It's somebody else's life that you're looking at to try to motivate yourself. Yeah. It's somebody else's body that you're trying to look at to motivate you to look that way. And it's a pit of a lie, in my opinion. Like it's just, you're constantly feeding yourself with, I should look like that, or I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. Instead of just figuring out and sitting down, writing down, actually write it out. Why do you want to get healthier? And what steps do you want to take to get there? So that's kind of the first step we do with clients. That helps just figure out kind of who they are. We kind of go through their health history. So just like in a clinical setting, when you go into the doctor, they're going to kind of want to know kind of where your background, sorry, there's a bug, kind of where your background in your health is. So what underlying conditions that are you dealing with or have you dealt with that would be helpful for me to know? Yeah. And I always leave that open for them to share because some people want to keep stuff private and you have to respect that. But Usually people will open up about kind of stuff that they've been dealing with, some food allergies that they've been dealing with, just the inability to kind of control their schedule throughout the day. So that's where we can kind of uncover kind of who the individual is, and kind of where they want to go. So that's with the consultation. And then kind of breaking it down, we have OPEX kind of coined this, the body, move, and work. So that's the last three steps of the consultation, the assessment portion. And so body, that's where we're going to figure out body composition, right? So the fastest way to do that is an in-body scan. Depending on where my clients are, if they're going to be local, we'll have an in-body scanner here, so that they can actually come here for reassessments, get that data, and then we can look at it and kind of go through it. Remote clients, they find a local health shop. Typically, a lot of those GNC protein shops, they're going to have some type of body composition assessment tool that they can go there 15 seconds, take the test, nice. Email that to me, and then we can input that stuff into TrueCoach. That's huge for people to see the data, and then we reassess that as we go. So it's not just a one-time assessment. As we reassess the data, that can be the motivation and the fuel to continue the relationship with clients, because they're seeing progress, right? And so that's in body to figure out the health of their organism.
How often would they see that? How often would you retest?
It depends on the client too. Sometimes early on, I think the more often you can do it, the better. So maybe every 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah. Because it depends on their training age too. So like somebody like you or I with just a higher training age, we're not going to see near as much progress, right? So as you get further along in your training age, it tapers off. So it gets more fine tuned. And so you're not going to see a whole lot of adjustment in numbers, but somebody who's very young in their training age, has never really exercised before, you put them through a month-long program of just generalized movement, basic movement, you could see the scale tip a little bit, their muscle mass go up a little bit, body fat go down quite a bit. So it just depends. And I kind of leave that up to the client as well. I kind of give some guidance on that. And every 3 to 4 weeks, we'll say, hey, let's reassess that and kind of see where we're at. Because we always want to see if what we're doing is actually moving us in the right direction.
Yeah.
So that's body. And then we move on to move. So then the move section is to figure out, okay, how can you as an individual move? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where are some areas that you feel like you're very confident in that movement? Do you have any areas of tight muscles that we need to be aware of that we can work on in your program to make you a healthier individual? And so we take them through a movement assessment. They have a variety of different movements. They're not very challenging movements, but they kind of uncover, and it builds a lot of awareness for clients too, for them to see how well or how not well that they move, and some basic movements. And it's not to like shame anybody or anything like that, but it gives a coach a lot of insight about, hey, how is your shoulder health? Do we take a dumbbell overhead yet? Or we have really weak shoulders? Do we have a bad shoulder? That we may find out in the consultation.
It must give them an awareness as well, and then it might kind of trigger, I don't know, pre-existing injuries and stuff like that. They might say, oh yeah, I broke my ankle when I was 12, whatever. Yep. Oh, okay, so you've never really rehabbed it, so you've got literally flexibility of a axle, like.
Sure.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep. So we find that out in the movement. So if we have a remote client, they submit videos through TrueCoach, and we assess them that way. It's not ideal to do that remotely because there's a lot of stuff that you can miss as a coach through a video. We instruct clients to make sure that they're videoing the first time. So we see kind of a raw video of like, this is your first time attempting it, because if you were to practice it, your brain's actually going to understand a little bit more how to do the movement. And then you may be able to craft it a little bit better for the video, right? Yeah. And so whereas in person, I said, hey, let's do a scratch test. And you only get one chance to do it because I'm going to see the very first try. Yeah. So we always instruct them on that, but there is just some things that you can miss. You miss the feedback, the verbal feedback of like, how'd that feel? Like what they can maybe type it out, but in the moment, it's like, I'm like really impinged here. I can't really move in that direction. So it's not ideal for remote, but it does work. And then eventually having clients here, we'll be able to have that one-on-one interaction to take them through that movement assessment. And there's tons of different movement screens all over the system. I keep mine very basic and very simple. I think if you get too in depth, you almost start to trickle into the realm of like physical therapy as a practicing. You know what I mean? So as fitness coaches, we have to make sure we stay within our scope of practice.
Yeah.
And if you start to dabble into kind of the injury, and there's some basic stuff you can do with like localizing like certain muscles and joints to get them more flexible. But if you've got a problem, and there's professionals that can treat that. And I think it's a shame when you see coaches try to take on that. You get yourself kind of in over your head a little bit, and can even cause more harm. So I think it's good to pump the brakes. But you may find that out in the movement screen. The movement screen is very simple. And then you may, before we even exercise, we may want to get something looked at before we even have you exercise. So it gives them peace of mind knowing like, hey, you went through that movement screen fairly well, and you have no problems as of right now. So I feel comfortable moving forward. And it helps a coach kind of have peace of mind knowing like their risk factors of health. And you find that out in the consultation. And to make sure that, do we need to get approved by a physician to make sure that exercise is even safe right now? Cardiovascular disease is huge all across the country. And I work with that primarily full time. And so I see the underlying issues with that. And so outside of that, it's important for coaches to make sure that they have a good health history on their clients, to make sure that they're not just going to throw them on a bike and it's like, man, they may have some underlying issues that need to be checked out before you do that. So that's the move. Yeah.
Or they pump up the intensity and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the move section. And then lastly, you move on to the work. So this is like work capacity, right? So our bodies have different energy systems, and we can train those, your aerobic system, your anaerobic system, glycolytic system. Like there's just so much that goes on. We can dive a lot deeper into that, but just the basics of that, understanding kind of where an individual's systems sit currently, and then you can also test that and progress that. So one of the basic assessments that we can use is just the 10-minute air bike test. OPEX preaches this up and down, and it's like, get on a bike for 10 minutes. How hard can that be? You get clients on there and they're like, okay, like this is hard, because you figure out they come out way too fast, way too hot. You kind of see how their energy systems are adjusting or how they utilize their energy. If they come out just busting it, you know that they don't really have a whole lot of control over their aerobic system, right? They know gear 10 and gear 1, and that's it. They don't know anything in between. So it gives you a lot of insight, and this is a very simple test. There's rowing tests, 30-30-30 that you can do to develop, figure out power output. There's a whole slew of different tests, but we keep them very simple, kind of, again, based off where the client's at. If they come in, their training age is a lot older, there's different assessments like that. You got your 1RMs, you've got
box step up test as well. They do that.
To see how well your hips and your joints and your knee path will move for just box step up. Believe it or not, a lot of people have a lot of weaknesses with that, and so
a lot of people are one side dominant as well, because especially when you're doing the box step, you notice them if they're stepping down with their left every single time or stepping down with their right every single time. You can notice from just a visual kind of assessment. And then those work capacities screenings can help. All of this data that you gather isn't just to gather data and to try to look like you know what you're doing. It's to gather it, and then it's like, let's write it out. And then as a coach, you've got to figure out, based off of the data that you collected and then the client's goals, how do you use that data to then program their exercise? And so that's where it comes in to prioritize and plan, and to strategize, what are we going to do with this client based off of the results that we just got? How do we develop their aerobic system so that they feel better? They get more oxygen moved throughout the body. If we want, a lot of clients that I work with won't necessarily ever get into that anaerobic lactic acid burnout type of phase. Why? Because it's painful. And if that's not a goal of yours, and you don't want to be an athlete and you don't want to compete locally, even in small competitions, there's no reason to do that. You can have a good body composition, and you can have and feel good and look good while keeping mostly everything aerobic, or even at the higher capacity of the aerobic system. A lot of people don't realize that the anaerobic, the harder people train, and when they get to the anaerobic kind of phase, that it's not geared towards longevity and improving life. It's more to do with performance, and that's what well, people will look and try and follow an athlete's nutrition. You think, what are they fueling though?
Mm-hmm.
They're not fueling a 9-to-5 job. They're fueling some serious training load and volume, and they're fueling some high intensity performance and in competition. So
yeah. Athletes, I always tell people, athletes eat, train, and recover. That's all they do. Like full-time athlete, that's your job, is to eat, train, and recover. And the reason you can take your exercise and your fitness to a performance level is because of the amount of recovery that you're doing. These top athletes, they don't grind and hustle and bustle like the majority of individuals do. They exercise, they eat right, and they recover a ton. That's why they can do what they can do.
Yeah.
If you can't recover, if you've got a baby at home like I do, I can't be training high intensity every single day because I'm going to be a crappy father and a crappy husband, right?
Yeah.
So that's reality. Like I need to keep my training enjoyable, aerobic, and develop, better strength habit and strength patterns. And there's time for it, and it's fun to kind of tap into that if that's a goal of yours. But man, it's not for longevity. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Well,
so that's kind of in a nutshell the assessment process that we do, and then it takes about 1 to 2 weeks, depending, to develop kind of a plan and a program for that client, and then that program is then distributed through TrueCoach, which is software. I don't know if you've had a lot of experience with it.
I haven't I've seen it, and I've some of the kind of screenshots from it and stuff like that. But go on, as you were saying.
Yeah, it's just an incredible platform. It's very user friendly. Somebody who has absolutely no idea how to anything about fitness can use it. There's an exercise library that you can program certain movements, and the client can actually see that. And so even in gyms that have in-person clients, they still distribute that program through TrueCoach, because that breaks the barrier of that, like, babysitting an adult, right? So that you have a floor coach maybe, but you're still getting your program virtually through your phone. And then you may go to a facility and train. My clients, they would train at another facility. But you don't have to have that person or your coach right by your side.
Yeah.
It teaches you that, hey, here's your steps to take. Let's give this a try. Give me some feedback. And then we kind of move forward from there and progress from there. So that's kind of the process in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So literally taking from the start, the assessment, right through, constant feedback, the data that you take in order to program. So it's not just random. It is individualized because you're looking at a combination of the assessment and linking it towards their goals. So I think you pretty much, like, if I was a coach or if I was an individual looking into that, I think you've given quite a lot of good detail there that I can look into a bit further. Moving away from that, let's look at some. I think we're at 45 minutes now. You've got.
You're good. You're good. I was just reading something over there.
Cool. I was just thinking about what kind of training resources have you recently kind of stumbled upon? I know you're saying OPEX's quality. Is there like any books or anything, or like training equipment or latest?
That's a good question. I would say resources that I primarily use is OPEXfit.com. There's blogs on there. There's free articles. There's I'm constantly that's kind of like some of my morning read that I go through. It's just tips and stuff from people that are way smarter than me. And I feel like the best thing I can do for my clients is to educate myself, to never become complacent with thinking that the processes that I like when I first started this just a year ago, my process looks different now. Why? Because I've been extracting information from people that are smarter than me and refining it and making it better. And I think as a business owner, you have to have that mindset. You can't get stuck with what you have, or it'll eventually die out. So OPEX definitely is just top notch, man. Revival Strength even gives out. Marcus Philly's got a team, man, that's just incredible, and you follow along with a lot of his stuff, and he's a lot. Just inspires me to be a better coach. He graciously gives out a lot of good stuff, so his email platform that he does, and and even some of his training programs that I've actually purchased have gone through just to learn. To be honest, it's like in the spreadsheet for a business owner, to me, that's like continuing education, right? So it's like I want to experience, what does that feel like? This style of training, how does that make somebody feel? So then maybe I can take some concepts from that and figure out, from this program that I'm doing, what would be good for my clients, what wouldn't be good for my clients that I currently have. That type of stuff helps me continue to learn, helps me to grow and become a better coach just by experience. I'm hands-on. I like to get in and try new movements to see how that feels and how that affects the body. So definitely OPEX, revival strength. Trying to think.
What about, have you got anything you've been kind of following down the rabbit hole that's not directly related to fitness, but concepts that can transfer across? Like, for example, I've recently read, literally all I've been doing this lockdown is reading. So I've read about 10 or 12 books over this time.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
2 books that I've been looking at is breath work in training, and that's the oxygen advantage, and just the conscious control of your breathing. I find that it directly relates to fitness, but almost haven't really paid attention to it much throughout my whole time training. Now I am. It makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. And the second thing I was looking at is epigenetics, mindfulness, and basically having clear intentions and matching them with heightened emotions. So the whole idea of your mind makes up your emotions. So if I want to feel depressed, I'll feel depressed. If I want to feel happy, I feel happy. But it's just catching yourself saying, you know what, this is how I'm going to feel today. I'm putting myself in this mood state. So I find that definitely helps with training, because one, if I've got a goal that I want to reach, it will keep me on track. So instead of saying I'm not really making progress, maybe I won't achieve that goal, you can say change, get into that mind frame, and I'm going to achieve it. Or if you're about to go to the gym, and it might even be that you're frightened to lift the weight, you think I might fail on this weight, but if you can see yourself saying, you know what, I'm going to do it, it's mad the power the mind has in the body. So that's just something that I've got that interlink, I find. Is anything kind of similar?
I would say just that mindfulness too. Just everything we do, man, starts with a thought. Everything we do, whether it's good or bad. Like, we make a bad decision, it started with a thought. We went down that rabbit hole, we made a bad decision. Everything good we do had a thought. We go down that rabbit hole and it works out really well. It's a positive thing for our life. And so I haven't really done a lot of research, like necessarily mindfulness. I've been learning just a lot about the concept of less is more, especially just in our society, man. It's just unreal how much people think that they have to go, sleep the bare minimum just to stay alive for the next 16 hours of your day. To me, I've never understood that. I feel like I've developed very good discipline in saying no to certain things, so that, because I have priorities, like my sleep is a priority, my training is a priority. Like, my training is like a doctor's appointment to me. It's like, I'm not going to miss, or some type of appointment. Right now, for example, if you got an appointment at the BMV where you get your license at, like, you're not missing that, because that place is terrible and it's hard to get in there now, right? And you wait forever. So think of it like the BMV, like, you're not missing that appointment. Like, you're just going to get it over with. It sucks to go there.
What does the BMV stand for?
The Bureau of Motor Vehicles, I think. It's here in the States. So it's where you get your license and registration. It's like a terrible place. Government agency. The reason I say that, I was just there, and it's like, I got there 10 minutes before they opened and there was already a line out the door. So people don't want to be there. They want to be the first in, the first out. But think of it something like that. Like, I've been off for a couple of weeks, so my training time has looked different. And I've been blessed by that. I've been able to train during the day. When I'm back working full time, my training time's in the evening, because I go into work pretty early in the morning. But that, we don't really schedule a whole lot. until after my training. And that can sound selfish, and it's not like I'm that it's always that way, or that I won't do anything unless my training gets done, because I think that can be a little toxic too. I need to be flexible. Maybe my wife has a plan for something, or maybe I need to do something for her, or there's some big event that, you know, somebody's celebrating or whatever. But the majority of my entire year, like, my exercise comes first, and it's a priority.
Yeah.
Same thing for my wife. Like, now with a kid, we're going to have to figure out and navigate what that looks like as far as us both getting our exercise time in, because it's a priority of both of ours, and it should be. And I think couples, especially with young kids, should make that a priority to help each other out, take turns of watching the kids, to make sure that you're getting that, because that in turn will help you become the best person possible that you can be. And so, yeah, basically to say that I think if people can really understand that less is more, and kind of scale back a little bit, start prioritizing certain things in their life, they're going to start seeing a lot of lasting change.
Yeah. I think what you talk about there, I don't know if you've heard of a book called, I think there's quite a few of these books. I think it's got sequels and all sorts. It's called Mars and Venus. I think it's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Have you heard of that book?
I've heard of it. I'm not too familiar with it though.
He describes it as cave time in it. So he's saying that you have a loving relationship, but you also need that cave time. Like my cave time, and sounds like your cave time is the gym. That's our cave time.
Yeah.
Like, that's the opportunity for us to go and kind of men don't talk like women talk, and not in our makeup too. Like women like their feelings and their concerns and their emotions and things that go wrong in their relationship by having conversations with their friends, and that's how they do it. For us, it's about expressing. It's like the desire to achieve a goal, or like that. You know, you have like achievement success or something. You get achievement motivation when you completed something. You go to a hard workout. You come back. You have that kind of like the I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like achievement something. But that's pretty much what it is. A cave time, and that less is more. Literally, I feel like that's what we've been practicing throughout this whole of lockdown. Like, without the bars, without the restaurants, without all this constant simulations, going to the cinema and stuff like that. Like, just being content, being in your house, sitting in the garden, like, reading a book, drinking a cup of coffee, like that is so better than going to spend $50 at the cinema, or like going to the mall and buying like a pair of trainers or whatever. Like, I find that anyway.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. It's important to have that balance of, I mean, in life as humans, we have to balance work and rest. That's all we're doing in a nutshell. Like, we all have our own things that we're gifted at, the things that we're called to do, the impact that we're supposed to make, but we all have the responsibility of managing our rest with our activity, right? So it's in the majority, the reason why obesity continues to climb, at least here in the States, the reason why mental health is becoming more of a problem, just a ton of physical disease health, food intolerances, different things like that, is because a lot of people aren't managing their work to rest ratio very well. Work is up here and rest is down here. Like, it's just such a small gap, and it clearly doesn't work out, right? You have excessive weight gain. You've got depression, anxiety, and not that those things can't be resolved. Just, there's some medical treatment for that. And I'm not saying that's not important, because that definitely plays a role. But I think if we were all to take a step back and kind of really, truly evaluate our life and look at, okay, what do I prioritize? What matters to me? And am I balancing my work to rest ratio well? If I'm not, I have to sacrifice somewhere. So let's all sacrifice when it's dark out, and let's go to sleep and not feel like we have to work. So that when we wake up and we're awake throughout the day, we can be the best that we've been called to be. We're setting ourselves up to make the greatest impact. If you're, in different circumstances, we'll adjust that, but to your best of your ability to try to take control of that. I think that changes the world right there, man, especially with everything going on right now.
I think with that as well, change your personality because when you're rested, you wake up and you're not living in the future. You're not living in the past, thinking about this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. If you're more present, you're well rested. Your brain, your body, everything recovers in your sleep. And if you're rested, you are going to be more present. And as a more present person, you're going to be a better person to be around, and you're going to be better at your job. You're going to make better choices, and have better outcomes for it.
Yeah. I always like to tell people, the people that flip the bird or they cuss somebody out because they cut them off in traffic, those people aren't sleeping well at night.
Yeah.
they're the ones that are sleep deprived, right? Because then we're just edgy, man. We snap when we're sleep deprived, when we're stressed out to the max. And it impacts across the board. When you go to the grocery store, if you're balancing that ratio well, you're going to be nice to somebody that may make a nasty comment to you. You're going to it does affect your personality and your mindset.
Yeah.
And the mindset I always like to live is the best is yet to come. Like that's our motto here at Victory Strength. And that's across the board in every avenue of your life. The best is yet to come. No matter what you're walking through, it's the idea of looking forward to the future and believing that there's better days ahead.
Yeah.
And that changes your day-to-day perspective of how you go about life. Yeah. If you always think, man, the good old days, let's go back to the good old days. It's like you're going to be a jerk to everybody you encounter because you just are wishing you were somewhere else instead of believing like we're moving forward and the best is yet to come.
And they say that depression is always thinking in the past, and anxiety is always thinking in the future. And with regards to that, not a positive future, it's, I need to get my hair cut, I need to pick the kids up from school, I need to do this. Why worry about any of those things? The best thing I find about life is the unknown before something's going to happen. Like, my favourite part of a workout is when I'm sitting there having coffee before it, because you don't know what's going to happen during that workout. Or when you sit down to watch a movie, like just before it starts, that's the best part of the movie, the anticipation. After it's done, it's good, it's a great movie, but it's in the past now, so moving on. I'm living in the present. That's what my missus says stuff to me sometimes when stuff's happened. I was like, oh, well, it's in the past now. It's already happened. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter anymore. Like, what matters is what's going on now. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
But just final thing before we go.
Yeah.
So you've recently had a little baby. And, I just want to kind of, anyone who's a new father or a new mother will probably kind of be like where you're at the moment. But I just like, how has your life changed? I know that people say that when it does change, positives outweigh the negatives. But what are some things that are slightly different to maybe a week before the baby was born?
Yeah. Oh man, like I said at the beginning, sleep has been the biggest change. There's just no way you can. And by all means, man, I'm only like 11 days, 12 days into this whole thing. So like they say the first 2 weeks it's survival. You're just trying to figure out how to survive. It's like we've been blessed, honestly. Our little boy Beckham, he's a great sleeper. We literally have to wake him up.
Love the names, by the way.
Yeah, man, got that English name.
Awesome name.
Come on, represent.
Yeah. England.
Yeah. So yeah, babies are just different. You got some that just cry all the time. I mean, which can be normal. You've got some that sleep all the time. We've been blessed, at least right now, he sleeps a lot and he sleeps through the night. We actually have to wake him up to feed about every 3 hours. That's a blessing, man, because once he goes down, like you just try to catch as much sleep as you possibly can.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit of an adjustment to get up, at 2 a.m. I've just never been up at that hour, really.
Yeah.
Unless I was back in high school, man. We were always up that late. But
I heard those early hours are good for meditation because your mind is in a good state.
Well, yeah, some people maybe. I'm like brain fog. Like, funny story. Just the other night, Eden was asking. She's like, "Why are you limping?" And it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm like, "I'm not limping. Like, I'm just tired. Like, almost kind of feeling like." Like you're a little hungover, a little tipsy or something. You know what I mean?
It's the same as being what's it called when you're when you fly in about a long haul flight and you
jet lag.
Jet lag, same as that.
Yes,
right?
yes, more of that. Yeah. And so I was like, like it's just I'm tired and it like I don't want to be up right now.
That's so.
Yeah, why are you limping? I'm like, I'm not limping.
Paul changing his nappy.
Yeah, right. So yeah, just doing that too, like in the middle of the night, trying to pick up. Because the thing I've just realized too is like the female body is just incredible. Like they go through so much and then they're expected to feed this baby and they're recovering themselves. And it's like you as the husband or the father over there, it's just like, man, I can't do anything to like take that away, but I can do everything I can to try to take off every other load of like work on your end. So like I've been changing every diaper because I'm going back to work. So she'll, and I'll be changing diapers in the middle of the night. Like that's just, I'm taking responsibility.
Modern day man.
Yeah. So, that's just advice like that was given to me. And it was really good advice, to kind of make sure I'm putting her first.
That's quality.
And to make sure, cause she's still recovering, and their body goes through, hell and back in a sense. And
I just think it's cool that they can literally grow another being inside them.
Yeah. It's a miracle, man.
I'm trying to grow a little bit of muscle when I'm struggling, and they can grow a full person inside them. Like, how is that?
You're right. Yeah, it's an absolute miracle, man. It's a joy to just to hold him, and it's gonna go by fast, which everybody says it does. So I'm trying to enjoy every moment that I can. And
can you describe the feeling of that moment when you first, like, when your wife gave birth? Can you describe that feeling?
Yeah, I can't. It's just like you can't even describe it. It's
Are you delirious at that point as well?
Like honestly, at first we both kind of looked at each other. We were like, it just doesn't feel like our baby. Like it just doesn't. You know what I mean? It just It's crazy. And then you keep looking at him. You're in the hospital for a couple of days, and every hour you're just like, it's like, man, that's my child. Like it's just it's super special. It is. It's
That's why you got to have more. That's why you got to have more, though, isn't it? So you can have that feeling over and over again.
Right. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna max out at 3, Lord willing. Maybe 2. I don't know. Man, there's some people. I found out there's somebody here in Bluffton that has 8 kids. I couldn't imagine that. Like your whole lifestyle. I mean, you can't manage work and rest. You're always working, or else you have no money. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just can imagine a big family like that, but. Honestly, can't describe it. It's just it's a surreal moment, and it's special, and there's not a whole lot of words that can describe it, man.
Yeah, I always say to Helena that I feel like that will be one of the greatest feelings that anyone ever, because anyone who ever like mention or talks about like a really special moment, they'll always say behind having my children. So it's always one is having the children. It's like exciting. It's scary, but like you said, it's something that it's worth doing because you so much. Like you are a team. You and your wife are a team, and then your child is a product of your love. So it's just something that it's a job that
he's coming along for the ride, man.
Yeah.
Your life does change quite a bit, but like I think I'm a firm believer in like Eden and I were married before this baby was here, and so like kids can sometimes come between parents, and it just kind of, you forget who you're married to because you just don't ever hang out anymore. You don't ever go on dates. You don't ever do anything like that. So we're firm believers in maintaining that good relationship because that's going to help our child out more than us helping him out without taking care of our marriage. And but that's a good topic for the next talk. After I've got maybe, a few months under my belt, we can talk about.
Yeah, then you can, I'll just be here going, taking notes.
Yeah. And redefining the dad bod. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
This is what a dad bod looks like.
Yes.
I always say to Helena, I'm like, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life when I'm in my 40s. Like, I'll look back in my 20s and be like, what on earth was going on now? At least I'd have filled out a little bit by the time I'm 40. Like,
Yeah. Man, I got so many. About a year ago, people would always tell me that had kids and we didn't have kids. Oh, just wait till you have kids. Like, you can work out all the time now. Just wait till you have kids. It's like, We should have a Skype call about that one. I get pretty fired up about that.
Yeah, I'll be all over that. I get so irate about that. I'm like,
yeah.
My pet peeve is people telling you what your life is going to be like in the future. You don't know anything about what my life's going to be like. Wait until you get to 40. When I get to 40, I'll be in better shape than I am now. Wait until you do this. Wait until you do that. Wait till you have kids. Wait till you marry. Well, do you know what's happened since I got married? It's been exactly the same, if not better. Like, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yes.
You know
yes.
I mean?
It gets better. The best is yet to come, man. We're not moving backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the worst. In all seriousness, the worst phrase you can tell somebody, especially to the generation under you, is you just wait.
Yeah.
It's something that every time I hear it, it just does not set well with me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you just, in that moment, you're wishing your mistake or the things that you struggle with on the generation below you. And it's like, that in a sense is the problem with society, in a sense. It's like, we can't be wishing we hope, like, I hope my kids are a better father. And my wife hopes that if we have a daughter, that she's a better mother and a wife than we are. Like, that should be our goal, is they are better than we did it. And not like, you just wait, like, you think it's hard now, so we got to be speaking life into the next generation for sure.
No, I completely agree with that. And it's about having that mindset, isn't it? Like, you've got a mindset where you're happy to celebrate someone else, and you're not constantly like begrudging people for doing better than you, or it's just that mindset, isn't it? It's like,
100%.
80% of the people that I was working with were all like, because I worked in a school, so it was 4 more weeks to go, because we had holidays every so often. 4 more weeks to go, 3 more weeks to go, 2 more days to go, 5 more hours to go. I'm like, how do you care? And every Friday, it's Friday, and be Monday in a couple of days.
Just another day.
Wish your life away. That's why I had to get out. People just wishing their life away every minute.
What are you doing now? So no more teaching, right?
Yeah. So I'm registered supply teacher. So if I wanted to, I could pick up day-to-day work, but there's none at the moment because of COVID. But I'm going through I'm going to do, so UK have a online association called UKSCA, United Kingdom's Strength and Conditioning Association. 2 awards. So they do one for, it's just an assessment for a strength and conditioning coach, and there's another one they've just started to introduce, and it's like a step towards it. It's called the Trainer Award, and it's for like teachers, coaches, people that want to transition into strength and conditioning, who aren't really ready for the assessment day. Like, being a bit big-headed, I think I am ready for the assessment day, but I think I'm going to do that one first. Hoping, like, my goal is to work in a school, but not as a teacher, kind of for a school. So I'm more, it'd be like a head of the athletic development kind of role. So if you're just in charge of the team, their performance, their nutrition, their like
a strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, pretty much. That'd be awesome. So I've started volunteering at my local rugby club. I've done 4 weeks, and like literally since I've been going, he's just gone, just like, Ryan's our strength and conditioning coach. So it's been full on, but
bro, put in that free time, man. It pays off.
Yeah, the lads. It ranges from like under 16s through to seniors. So I'm teaching like 16-year-olds right up to like 53-year-olds in groups of 5 at the moment because of COVID. Okay. Just doing things like I'm doing like a hip series, like glute activation. I've done some ladder work, so some braking mechanics, breathing techniques with them, like teaching them how to nasal breathe and stuff like that. They buy into it, literally. They're like, looking at you, learning, listening, it's such a joy.
That's awesome, brother.
Trying to get it on my CV so that when I go for stuff in the future, that I've got that kind of experience. But I'm 100% committed to going and being a strength and conditioning coach now. I don't care how much money I earn. Like, I really hated teaching because it was never about the kids. It was never about the subject. It was just about like how much work that they could get out of you and how they could manipulate your workload. It was not enjoyable. And the politics is such, like, if you're someone who kisses the head teacher's ass and is a terrible teacher who the kids hate, you still do better than someone who's a brilliant teacher the kids love, who grinds and gets results. I don't care about that. care about just being an ass kisser and jumping. So
well, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. You got to take a step out and step of faith and move forward with what you're passionate about. That's what's going to be fulfilling and sustainable, man. So good for you.
Legend, man. Well, I'll let you train. I won't hold you up any longer.
Yeah.
Short window to work out, and you've got a tough workout. So appreciate it, man. And
Hey.
I'll have to do another one if you think about maybe what we're going to talk about. I think there's quite a few topics, but I think that the 3 months in fatherhood might be a good topic.
Yeah, and maybe next time I will interview you on something. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, enough of me talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, cool.
Got to hear from the legend.
Don't go that far.
All right, brother. Hey, have a good weekend, all right?
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, peace, man.
Peace. See you later.